So a good buddy of mine asked me one day if I'd like to have these extra truck parts that he had sitting behind his garage. He had the body, the fenders, and the bed for a 1953 F100. I said, hell yeah. So then we loaded up all the truck parts and brought it back to my house and set it up in my garage where we assessed the damage. The truck had a ton of rust, missing parts, and body damage. It was also clear that it didn't have a motor, frame, or chassis. So immediately started searching for a donor vehicle to get a motor and chassis from. The 1953 Ford F100 is one of my favorite trucks of all time. They have beautiful body lines and can look cool no matter how you build it. So I decided that I was going to go with a gunmetal gray, 22-inch rims, low-profile tires. I was going to convert the long bed to a short bed. I'm going to lower the truck, and I'm going to build it on top of a 1996 S10 chassis. I've always liked the 4.3 Vortec in S10s, and it also came with a 6-speed transmission. These trucks have a ton of torque and are a lot of fun to drive. This truck would also be perfect because the distance between the wheels would match the short bed F100 I was trying to build. Now that I had a donor vehicle, it was time to strip down the body, get to the parts that I originally purchased it for. All the parts that I did not need, I took pictures of and put for sale on the internet. Now that we had our running gear, it's time to chop all the old body mounts off the frame. It's also time to mock up the new cab and build new body mounts. I had to fabricate 4 body mounts for under the cab to hold it up off the frame at the perfect height. Now that the cab was set, I had to fabricate brackets for the bed of the truck and also the front end of the truck. I decided to build it with a flip-up hood, a lot like a Corvette or a Jaguar. The hood opens backwards. So I had to build a hinge bracket. The bed of the truck took substantially more work. We had to initially cut 11 inches out of the length and 4 inches out of the width for it to fit proper on the frame. Once the bed was cut to fit, I welded it back together and installed it. The running boards on the truck needed to be shrunk to fit the new wheelbase. This was delicate work. Also, I had to build brackets for underneath so you could stand on the running board before getting in the truck. This was delicate and precise work, but I enjoyed every second of it. At this point, I had a pretty solid vehicle, so I bought some drop spindles and lowered the truck 4 inches. The wheels that I purchased would bring it down another 2 inches. At this point, I wanted to test drive it, but couldn't because I didn't have steering, gas, or brakes. So I built custom brackets for the steering column, fabricated a new housing for the transmission. I also had to fabricate new brackets for the gas pedal and the brake pedal. I bought some cool seats off eBay and built brackets for underneath them. Then I wired the truck with the original wiring harness, ready for a test drive. It ran great, made a little bit of noise, but with some adjustment, I was moving on to the next stage. Next phase, I started by painting the chassis black. This whole next phase would be a restoration of the 1953 body. This truck is over 67 years old, so as you can imagine, there's rust everywhere. In most cases, I cut the rust out and replaced it with sheet metal. Some spots even had fiberglass. But ultimately, every inch of the truck needed to be addressed. what I'm talking about, baby. Man, it's looking good. At this point, basically gonna rewire the truck, get this motor completely restored to its greatest glory. I love restoring motors, it's a lot of fun. This one I had to rewire, so it was a bit of a challenge, but I like challenges. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just wanted to show off my truck, my first complete vehicle build, and it taught me a lot, not gonna lie. Worth all that I put into it. It took about 6 months. I wish I'd have kept it, but I sold it right away to the first guy that came and looked at it, and that was the original plan. So bada bing, bada boom. Anyways, thanks for watching.